Hello everyone, this is Tony from CTN, and today we're going to be talking about 5 stocks that you should definitely consider buying this year in 2020. I'm going to try to make myself a little bigger. There you go. And again, we're going to be discussing 5 companies that I personally think you should try to invest in this year. If you still have no idea about how to get into stocks or anything like that, you will find a link in the description where we'll explain everything on how to actually get started in stock market investing. Now, before I actually start, let me just say that we've been dealing in a very bullish, or we've been playing in a very bullish stock market for the past couple of years, meaning it's only a matter of time till we actually hit a recession, or till stocks actually start declining in value, stocks actually start correcting themselves. Do keep that in mind while investing. It's gonna have to happen. I mean, stocks don't go up infinitely, unlimitedly forever. They need to correct themselves. It's gonna happen. No one really knows when. Now, keep that in mind, even though they will probably decline in value, in my opinion, sooner than later. That still doesn't mean that you can't make profit or that investing in stocks is a bad idea. Stock number 1 would be Disney. I did write an article about 6 months ago on why investing in Disney was actually a brilliant idea right now, because back in November, Disney was launching Disney Plus, which is definitely going to bring a lot of money into the company, and therefore investors were actually going to be aware of this, and people were going to start buying as soon as they actually see the money coming in from Disney Plus. And the same thing still applies right now. Earnings for quarter 1 will be announced in a couple months, and therefore once investors actually see that Disney is making a huge ton of money thanks to Disney Plus, the stock price is going to go soaring through the skies. So definitely put Disney. I mean, Disney is my number 1 in my to buy list, at least for the next couple months, even into quarter 2, because Disney Plus hasn't even launched yet in most places. It has only actually launched in North America, and so the moment this thing starts spreading across the world, I mean, Disney is going to be making bank. So yeah, definitely consider Disney as your number 1. The next one is a bit controversial. And, I did break this down in this article in 3 main points. So I have a lot invested in AT&T. Well, a lot. I have a small chunk of my portfolio dedicated to AT&T. Now, I do realize that AT&T is a company that has a huge amount of debt. And we're talking about triple B debt, which is considered not the very nice debt per se. AT&T, Ford, and a few other companies are, pretty famous, but they're not really healthy in terms of debt. Disney has a lot of debt too, but it's mostly good debt. With that said, a lot of people don't like AT&T because of this reason, because it's not a very healthy company. It's not like they're losing money or anything, but they do have a massive amount of debt. And if a recession were to hit us, then, in my opinion, I still think AT&T would probably be able to pay back its debt, but of course, who knows, right? 3 major things why I actually feel like AT&T is still a solid company to put your money in. Number 1, they have an amazing dividend. It actually used to be higher. Right now, it's sitting at 5.3. But these guys love giving out money back to their investors, and speaking from a long-term perspective, if the price of a stock of AT&T goes down within the next 2 years or a year or something, but you're still getting paid throughout this time, then that's fine. I don't really, like I said, I don't invest in the short term. I'm trying to invest in from a long-term perspective, where I'm trying to make money while I'm holding these stocks. So definitely have a nice dividend. AT&T actually owns a bunch of high quality assets like Time Warner and HBO. They're going to be launching HBO, and while I don't think they're going to be as big as Disney Plus or Netflix, there's definitely a room for HBO Max. I think they've got some cool Game of Thrones coming out with HBO Max. I mean, I know they're going to get subscribers, and they're going to start making money through this way as well. So, and history, of course. I mean, come on, it's AT&T. I think it was the first telecommunications company ever founded in the United States. So, that kind of speaks well for them, and they've been doing all right. So, While everybody freaks out when they hear about AT&T, oh my God, yes, they have got this nice huge dividend, but they're not really healthy internally speaking. I like their CEO. I've seen a couple interviews from him. Guy looks like a smart person. So AT&T is definitely in my to buy list, especially speaking from a long term perspective. Moving on, Walmart, of course. I mean, come on, you cannot buy Walmart, and I like Walmart mainly because I know that these guys are into big things. I know that particularly when speaking about crypto, I know that they're going to be doing some really interesting stuff from a cryptocurrency / blockchain perspective. Definitely Walmart. I think they're actually undervalued. There's no reason why Walmart, a stock from Walmart sits at $100, or I think it's trading at 120 right now, or 110 or something. And then you've got companies that like McDonald's or something that still try to, I do understand that McDonald's, it's more of like a real estate thing, but the brand itself, it's like low prices every day, cheap food, cheap everything. And you've got this massive difference between Walmart and McDonald's. I think Walmart's a must-have, to be honest. I like the company organization as an organization, and I think it's going to be around forever because everyone loves low prices, and there's always a market for cheap people. There's always going to be a market for cheap people, and companies like I said, like Walmart, they perform great during bad times, which I think we're headed into not so great financial times. So definitely one to consider. Microsoft. So the main reason why I included Microsoft in this year's to buy list is because number one, they're going to be launching this super new Xbox, and I think they did very well with Xbox One, and I think they're going to do even better with this one. The main reason why you might say, hey, so why Microsoft and not Sony? I don't really have much of a reason per se. I do think Microsoft's dividend yield is higher, which kind of sounded more appetizing in my mouth and ears. But Sony is still a valid stock. I picked 5 of the ones that I'm including in my portfolio. But these are not. I'm not limited to 5 stocks only. Okay. The next one and final one would actually be McDonald's. Again, like I said, I think we're headed into very bad. Well, not very bad, but I think we're going to be dealing with somewhat of a financial recession not very far away from today. And for that very same reason, I think you should start considering companies that perform well during bad times. We're talking about, what do people actually spend money in when they don't really have much money? Well, we're talking about instead of actually going out to some Italian restaurant, they're probably going to go to McDonald's. They're probably going to start shopping more at Walmart. They're probably going to spend more money. I think it was Hasbro or some other candy company or candy shop that actually, every time there's like a depression or recession, like back in 2008, they did super well because actually people started gifting more candy than anything else because candy is cheap. And so again, we've had 10 years of outstanding growth in terms of stocks. I think this is going to probably change within the next, if not year, a couple years. These are strategic movements that you should probably be thinking about right now. How do I actually prepare myself for a financial recession? Well, probably wouldn't hurt to actually own shares of companies that do perform well during these bad times. And those are my 5 stocks. I should probably, my list is much bigger. If you do want to know or listen into my entire stock portfolio, I do encourage you to check out our pro membership. I hand out my stock movements to all of our pro members, and reason why I make these purchases, why I sell these. So be sure to check that out. And hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about these stocks. I mean, I'm a big fan of these. I mean, these are major companies that even, we're talking about, for example, Disney, even though a recession might hit us. I mean, Disney is probably going to do well. Probably AT&T, I'll probably be looking out for that one. But for the most part, these are pretty solid and big companies that you shouldn't feel too worried about. Anyways, just let me know what you think in the comments, and I will be sure to talk to you guys soon. Thank you.